In 1957, Ford launched the Edsel, a car they believed would revolutionize the market. Instead, it became one of the biggest failures in automotive history, costing Ford millions. What went wrong? Ford made decisions without truly understanding what customers wanted. Many schools make the same mistake, rolling out new policies or programs without asking teachers or parents for input. Just like Ford, if you don't consult your frontline people, you risk costly missteps. The Edsel teaches us, don't ignore warning signs. Listen before you leap. So, how can you avoid an Edsel moment at your school? Start with research. Ask parents and teachers what they need most. Collect honest feedback. Then test new ideas on a small scale before a full rollout. Review the results, adapt, and improve. That's how you avoid costly mistakes. Learn from Ford's Edsel. Involve your community, and your next big idea could be a true success. 1957, Ford Motor Company. They spent $250 million, biggest product launch in history, on a car called the Edsel. Expert designers, massive marketing, years of planning. Result, total disaster. Lost $350 million. Became the punchline of jokes. Bill Gates calls Business Adventures the best business book ever written because it shows why smart companies make stupid decisions. Today, I'm showing you the mistakes you're making in your school right now. Let me describe what happened in your last staff meeting. You announced a new policy. We're adding coding classes, or we're changing the uniform, or we're starting Saturday lessons. You thought it was brilliant, but then parents complained, teachers resisted, students hated it, and you're confused. I spent weeks planning this. Why isn't it working? Here's what John Brooks discovered studying corporate disasters. The problem isn't your idea. The problem is you decided in the office what should work in the market. You planned without asking the people who matter most. Ford made the same mistake, and it destroyed them. John Brooks studied 12 corporate stories, failures and successes. Here are 3 lessons that will save your school from expensive mistakes. Lesson 1, ask customers before you decide. Ford's Edsel disaster happened because they asked the wrong question. They asked dealers, what car should we build? Not customers, what car do you want to buy? Dealers wanted something to sell. Customers wanted something different. $250 million mistake. Your school does this constantly. You decide to add extra classes without asking parents if they'll pay. You change school hours without asking if it fits parents' schedules. You introduce new subjects without asking if students are interested. You raise fees without explaining the value added. Here's the Brooks method. Before making any major decision, survey your actual customers. Real example, school in Abuja wanted to add French classes. Cost $2 million setup. Before investing, they surveyed 50 parents. Would you pay $15,000 per term for French lessons? Result, only 8 parents said yes. They saved $2 million by asking before spending. Brooks principle. The market doesn't care about your brilliant ideas. It only cares about what it wants. Research first. Decide second. Lesson 2. Small tests beat big bets. A company wanted to launch a revolutionary new product, but instead of going all in, they tested small first. The result, they discovered fatal flaws before spending millions. Your school needs this approach. You want to start secondary section boarding facilities, new curriculum, or technology integration. Don't go all in immediately. Here's the Brooks strategy. Want to add secondary? Start with only JSS 1, one class of 25 students. Test for 1 year, learn what works, then expand. Want boarding facilities? Offer weekend boarding first, test with 10 students, fix problems when they're small, then go full boarding. Want new curriculum? Pilot with 1 class, compare results with a regular class, prove it works, then roll out school-wide. Want tech integration? Equip 1 classroom fully, train 1 teacher perfectly, document the process, then expand to others. Ford launched the Edsel nationwide all at once. If they'd tested in 1 city first, they'd have discovered the problems before losing $350 million. Your 5 million Naira mistake could be avoided with a 500,000 Naira test. Brooks principle. Big failures come from skipping small tests. Test small, learn fast, scale smart. Lesson 3, listen to the front lines. Brooks tells the story of Xerox. Executives in headquarters made decisions about copiers, but the technicians in the field knew what customers actually needed. Nobody listened to the technicians. Xerox made expensive mistakes that could have been prevented. Your school has the same problem. You, the owner, make decisions from your office. But your teachers are on the front lines. They see which students struggle. They hear what parents complain about. They know which methods work. Your bursary knows which families will pay, which payment plans work, and what fees are too high. Your security knows what time parents prefer pickup, which gate system works best, and safety issues you don't see. But you're not listening to them. Real Lagos example. School owner decided we're implementing biometric attendance. Cost $800,000. Teachers warned, internet is unstable here. Manual backup needed. Owner ignored them. System failed after 2 weeks. $800,000 wasted. Could have been avoided by listening to the people who work in the system daily. Brooks's principle. The people closest to the problem often have the best solutions, but leadership rarely asks them. Here's your action. Monthly Frontline Forum. 30 minutes where teachers, admin, and support staff can share what they see. No judgment. No dismissing ideas, just listening. The insights will save you from expensive mistakes. Listen to the front lines. They see what you don't. This book helps you stop making decisions without customer input, going all in without testing small first, ignoring feedback from your team, assuming you know what parents want, and copying what successful schools do without testing if it fits your context. Brooks studied companies worth billions and found they all made the same mistakes small businesses make. The lesson: intelligence doesn't prevent failure, process does. Take these action steps to avoid costly mistakes. Pick one major decision you're planning, like a new program, policy change, or expansion. Survey 20 parents before deciding. Ask them, would you actually use or pay for this? Design a small test version, just 1/10 the size of your big plan. Hold a frontline forum. Ask your staff, what am I missing? Brooks's companies that survived all did these things. Companies that failed didn't. Want to avoid expensive mistakes? Join our private school owners community, where owners share what worked and what failed. See links in description. I tested Saturday classes. Here's what I learned. I surveyed parents first, saved $3 million. I asked my teachers. They had the solution. Inside decision-making templates, parent survey scripts, pilot program frameworks. Learn from others' mistakes, not your own bank account. And when you need data to make smarter decisions, school finance management. Track what programs are profitable. Computer-based testing. Measure which teaching methods work. E-results system. Identify trends before making changes. Make decisions based on data, not assumptions. Need help? See in description. Ford was one of the smartest companies in the world. Brilliant engineers, unlimited budget, years of planning, and they still failed spectacularly. Why? Because they forgot the most important rule. Your customers decide success, not your boardroom. Every week, you're making decisions that will either grow your school or waste your money. The difference? Whether you ask before you act. If this changed how you make decisions, like this video, subscribe for weekly insights, share with one school owner who's about to make a big decision. Remember the Edsel. The most expensive mistakes are the ones you could have prevented by simply asking the right people the right questions. This is the UH Daily Show. Research, test, listen, then decide.